What's going on? It's Ed here from ClicksGeek. We're a Google Premier Partner Agency. We specialize in lead gen for local businesses. And today we're going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew when I started, or we started, our Google Ads agency. Not just I, it was my partner and I. When we started our agency, these are the 5 things I wish we knew. And I wrote them down just so I didn't forget them. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Number 1 is marketing and sales are the king and queen of this ball, if you will. You must get comfortable with marketing and selling your services. They're the most important part. I know that's going to sound funny and that Google Ads should be the most important part, but if you don't have the people to service, you're, what is this saying? Up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. So you need to get comfortable with marketing this stuff and selling this stuff. Pick a channel that you're comfortable with or a medium that you're comfortable with and just dive into it hard and be consistent with it. It could be cold calling, it could be direct mail, it could be networking, it could be pieces of content, it could be Facebook groups, it could be a strategic alliance with somebody that has a large market that they're an influencer in. It could be more of a traditional joint venture. There's lots of different avenues you can go, but pick one, dial it in, get really good at it, and consistently bring in new business that way. So number 1, and notice how I put this number 1 above all else, is get really comfortable with sales and marketing. And this isn't just this industry, this is every business. Those that can sell and market are the businesses that you know, and they're the businesses that make the most money. There's a reason McDonald's is the most famous restaurant brand, and yet it doesn't have the best food. Doesn't that strike you as funny to anybody? It doesn't have as good of a steak or as good of a piece of meat as Ruth Chris Steakhouse does, but it's more well known than Ruth Chris because they're better at the sales and marketing portion of things, and they've just got more dialed in systems. Now, yeah, you can make a case that McDonald's is more applicable to the masses versus a more expensive steak, but I think you get the point of what I'm trying to get across here. Those that can market are those that make the most money. So get really good at pitching your services, offering your services, get good at objection handling, get good at adding in objection handling into your sales pitch so that those objections don't even come up in the sales process. So if you know that having a guarantee in place would really help, if you know that having everything month to month would really help as opposed to a long-term contract, start adding those things into your pitch section of your sales conversation to eliminate or pre-eliminate a bunch of those objections. So number 1, get really good at sales and marketing. All right, I mean this seriously. It will make your life a lot easier. All right, number 2 is cash is king. And I just said sales and marketing are king and queen of this ball. I'm just using the phrase cash is king. The reason I say cash is king is you want to have cash at hand at all times. You don't want to be, waiting for that next deposit to have your business function. So you want to hoard your cash. You want to pay yourself a salary. You want to pay your employees a salary. But outside of that, you want to keep your business expenses as tight as possible and as lean as possible. Don't start feeding in personal expenses into the business, in my opinion. Keep them separate. But be as frugal as you can while investing wisely in the business. If it's investing into marketing services, that would be a good investment. But adding stuff in that you just don't necessarily need, that's the stuff you want to avoid. You want to be protective of your cash, and because having cash on hand will allow you to take advantage of strategic opportunities as they come along. But if you don't have cash on hand, you can't do that. So cash is really important. Hoard your cash. And then invest it back into your business while taking profits out, dividends out, making sure you pay yourself. But just don't spend needlessly on this. Treat this like your baby. It is your baby. It's your business. So you want to be strategic with the cash you spend and how you spend it. Look through your expenses. What can you cut? What do you really need to operate your business? One of the videos I just did the other day was, what do you really need to operate this business? It's really not much. It's a phone. It's a computer. Maybe it's some click fraud software. It's a landing page software, it's some call tracking software, and then that's kind of it at the basic level. And even then, you could pare that down even less. Then you start getting in some like Ahrefs or SpyFu softwares if you're looking for competitive analysis from like an SEO perspective. There's way more SEO softwares that you could use than PPC softwares, in my opinion. So just be wary of what you're spending your money on. And, put yourself through that filter, or put it through the filter of like, do I really need this to operate my business, or is this just a nice to have, or is this a must have? And as you grow and you've got more free cash in the business, more free cash flow in the business, you can certainly start more investing into other things that they're the nice to haves, they're not the must haves. But at first, when you're starting out, make sure it's just the must haves. Okay. Next is number 3, no chasing checks. You're not invoicing people. Please, for the love of God, stop invoicing people waiting to get paid for what it is that you do. Get paid on day one, and then make it a recurring payment that recurs in 30 days. You could also get more creative and bill every 2 weeks and get an extra payment out of it over the course of the year. So if you're chasing checks, you're putting undue stress, unneeded stress on your business. The benefit of recurring revenue is that it recurs, and it's not something you have to touch unless the card doesn't work and you've got to call the client and get a new card on file. But recurring business is, if you look up what Warren Buffett likes to invest in, it's recurring revenue businesses, subscription model businesses. He's big in the insurance industry because those are recurring payments. Same thing here. It's a recurring payment. Don't send out an invoice and wait for it to get paid. You need to get paid day one. 30 days recurs, 30 days recurs. Now, it's canceled any time. That's how we do it. But setting up that subscription takes off the entire accounts receivable department, the accounting side of it, and it adds more predictability to your cash flow. All right, if you've got to wait for invoicing to be paid, and it's maybe you do it every 30 days, you're now in the arrears 30 days before you get paid on this. That's not acceptable to us, and I wouldn't expect you to do it. Although I know a lot of agencies that do it, I just really wouldn't recommend it at all. You're chasing checks at this point, and you're not chasing the good kind of checks. You're not chasing the new checks. You're chasing the old checks. So I'd rather see you chase prospective clients than money that you should have been paid on day one. All right? So that's no chasing checks. So to recap, I got sell, sell, sell. I've got cash is king, no chasing checks. Next, number 4 is the power of consistency. If you take small actions consistently, over and over and over and over again, it's got a compounding effect. There's an excellent book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. I highly recommend reading that, and it's very simple. It's repeat the same actions each day over and over and over again, and things compound. What do they call the 8th wonder of the world? I think it is. They say is compounding interest. Same thing applies here. Your actions can compound. If you're cold calling, there is an effect on you cold calling lists of businesses and them hearing your business name. Whether they're saying no each time, you keep calling. At some point, they're going to say yes. Same thing with direct mail. Same thing with all of your marketing in general. It's being in front of your market over and over and over and over again. Same thing with going to the gym. I'm losing weight because I'm eating the right things consistently over and over and over again, and I'm going to the gym over and over and over again. So compound effect is huge. If you haven't read the Darren Hardy book, I highly recommend it. I think you can get a free copy of it on YouTube if you just type in Compound Effect audiobook. I would imagine there's a free copy online. Definitely recommend that. Last one is focus. I've got a little sign that says focus up on my wall right up there. And it's just a daily reminder to focus on the main thing. And I don't know who says it. Make the main thing the main thing. I don't remember who said that famous saying, but it's important in this industry specifically to make the main thing the main thing. This industry is wrought with shiny object syndrome, where the next thing looks even better than the thing you're currently doing. And Rob and I have been hit by this over the years, where instead of just doubling down on something that's really working, we distract ourselves with something else. And what we found is if we can just put horse blinders on and focus on the main thing, that we make more money consistently and everything seems to get easier. So remember to focus and make the main thing the main thing, all right? And that's it. So sales and marketing, number 1. Number 2 is cash is king. Hoard your cash. Spend it wisely. Be strategic with it. And one thing, I'll throw out one thing. I read Alex Hormozi's $100 million offer book, which is freaking awesome. And he kept saying being strategic is what you say no to. So having a strategy allows you to say no to things. Strategy is not what you do, it's what you say no to. I know it was a little backwards way of thinking about it, but I just thought it was interesting. So hoard your cash, be strategic, say no to things. Next is no chasing checks. I'm serious about that. Don't be chasing checks. Recurring payments all the way. That doesn't include a setup invoice potentially. That's different. I'm talking about the recurring payment ongoing. You don't want to distract away from your sales and marketing effort, your fulfillment effort, to go chase down checks from people, okay? Next is the compound effect, and last is focus. So those are the 5 things I wish I knew, or we knew when we started the agency. And it's any business in general. It's not just an agency. It's business in general. Those 5 things apply to whatever it is that you're going to do. If you're going to be freelancing and selling SEO services, or you're going to own a junk removal business, or a detailing business, or a roofing business, or open up a law practice, or open up a Google Ads agency, all of those things apply. So remember them, implement them, and don't learn the hard way like we did. Focus on those 5 things, and I think your business will become a lot easier to operate, and put everything through a filter of those 5 things. And that's it. This is Ed here from ClickSgeek, Google Premier Partner. We specialize in lead gen for local businesses. I will drop some links below to some courses that we have, as well as management services that we offer. If you need anything, reach out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below. And that's it for today. Take care. Bye.